Good afternoon, dear friends. Before taking today's initial retaliatory measure against Ukraine for President Zelensky's hostile actions, I wanted to speak with the Ukrainian president by phone to determine when, and whether, oil supplies to Slovakia would be resumed. We received a message that the Ukrainian president is only ready to speak after February 25th of this year. Given the gravity of the situation and the declared oil emergency in Slovakia, we are compelled under these circumstances to take the initial retaliatory measure immediately. It will be lifted immediately after oil transit to Slovakia resumes. Otherwise, we will proceed with further retaliatory measures. The rules apply as of today. If Ukraine asks Slovakia for assistance in stabilizing the Ukrainian power grid, it will not receive such assistance. As I have already stated, this is the first retaliatory step, which the Slovak government is entitled to take without violating any international rules or obligations. While Ukraine continues to undermine Slovakia's interests in supplying strategic raw materials, the Slovak government will reconsider its constructive position on Ukraine's membership in the European Union and prepare further measures. Slovakia assists Ukraine on all fronts, including refugees, transport infrastructure, gas supplies, emergency electricity supplies, and humanitarian aid. It supports Ukraine's European perspective while fulfilling its obligations. Despite this, the Ukrainian president portrays Slovakia as an enemy in the news. He first harmed us by halting gas transit. Our losses amount to 500 million euros per year in transit fees. His argument that by purchasing Russian gas, we support the Russian Federation is false and misleading, as many Western countries purchase large volumes of Russian liquefied natural gas. It is a complete paradox that even the gas that, according to European law, we are required to deliver through our pipeline to Ukraine, is of Russian origin. The Ukrainian president deliberately harmed us by halting oil supplies through the pipeline. We were forced to declare a state of emergency. We are using our own reserves. The Slovnaft refinery is forced to search for oil worldwide, which increases its price and transportation costs. Meanwhile, our intelligence agencies report that the pipeline in Ukraine is operational. The Ukrainian side provides us with varying information daily about the pipeline's condition and its readiness to continue oil transit. Our ambassador in Kyiv has still not been allowed to visit the section of the pipeline that the Ukrainian side claims as damaged. Halting oil supplies is a purely political decision aimed at blackmailing Slovakia in its international stance on the war in Ukraine. Slovakia is a sovereign country and cannot be blackmailed. We understand Ukraine's grave situation, but this does not give the Ukrainian president the right to launch such irresponsible and hostile attacks against Slovakia, which are causing financial damage and creating serious logistical problems. Slovakia does not agree with the cessation of energy supplies from Russia, but must respect the decision of European bodies that by the end of 2027 we will be cut off from these resources, and one dependence on raw materials from the East will be replaced by another, Western one. Reciprocity is the fundamental rule in international relations. The Slovak government's initial response to the hostile actions of the Ukrainian president, by cutting off emergency electricity supplies, is therefore entirely appropriate. Slovakia has the right to oil supplies, so the question of whether the Ukrainian president desires further retaliatory steps must be answered by the Ukrainian president himself and decided when he will resume oil supplies. I want to assure Mr. President that we are not only prepared for such steps, but also, as a sovereign country, have the right to do so.